How do I add bulleted lists, block quotes, and subheadings to my document? Well, we've already seen some of these already, haven't we? Let's actually start with the one that we haven't seen, which is bulleted lists, and that's using this tool right here. So let's say that I have some content. I'm just on my post edit page right now, and let's say I've got some content here. I want to put, one thing, another thing, whoops, here we go, yet another thing, and yet another thing, and so on. Okay, let's say I wanted all of this to be bulleted. All I'd need to do is I just highlight those and I click the bullet list, and there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and update that and see what it's going to look like on our actual page. Okay, did I click the update button? There we go. I wasn't sure whether I'd actually clicked it or not. We're just waiting for this to load. This is actually my server's a little slow today, so let's just all be patient. Okay, there we go. We've updated that. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to this page. I'm just going to hit the reload button to see what it actually looks like. There's our bulleted list. Okay, looks exactly the way we expected it to. What if we wanted this to be a numbered list? Okay, maybe you're putting together a list of your top 10 songs, okay, or your top 10 most frequently requested tracks at, when you're playing live. We just switch it to the numbered list. And I just did that by selecting all of that and clicking on this icon right here for what's called an ordered list. This is called an unordered list because it's just bulleted, and this is called an ordered list because this is in order. Let's go back here and let's hit reload and see what this looks like. Now we have an ordered list. Okay, and that's nicely formatted. What were the two other things we said? Oh yes, a block quote as well as subheadings. Let's go. We've already done a block quote, but let's actually do another one. Let's say I wanted to, what shall we block quote here? Let's say that we wanted to block quote this content right here. Okay, I'm going to pretend that this is a quote that we pulled from another website, and so I'd like to indicate that that's a quote, so I'm going to do this. Let's go ahead and click Update. There we go. Let's go back here. Let's hit Reload. And there we go. We've got a beautiful block quote here. Okay? And you can tweak this if you'd like. Okay, but oh yeah, finally, subheadings. I already showed you how these subheadings were done. Let's just undo one of these to see. And all you need to do is just select it, and then in this drop-down menu, select which type of heading you want. You should never use heading 1, by the way. Heading 1, the only place that should be used should be your site title, and WordPress does this automatically. So what you're going to start with, the top level heading that you will use if you need any sort of subheadings, will be heading 2. That's the biggest one that you can use. Heading 1 is reserved exclusively for your WordPress site, like the actual title of that particular article, okay? Article, post, whatever, page, whatever happens to be. So your biggest level heading is level 2. And what are all these other ones, like heading 3, heading 4, heading 5? You can have subheadings of subheadings. So let's say you've got a fairly complex document, and you've got a heading which is like my favorite songs, and then maybe you've got some subheadings underneath that where you want to subdivide your favorite songs into different genres. Okay, so maybe you might use heading 2 for a list of your favorite songs, and heading 3 for each of the different genres underneath that. Okay, I'm sure you can think of other examples as well. So that's how we'd use these. So I'll just stick around as you're getting used to this. Just stick with heading 2. Let's go ahead and hit Update here. And we will go ahead and reload this. Okay, so there we go. This doesn't actually look any different than it was before because we've just went back and made that a heading 2. Here's a good question. Why should you use heading when you could just make something bold, right? Doesn't it look the same? I mean, it's kind of a little bit bigger. Can't we just make the text a little bit bigger and make it bold? It's actually kind of important. The code that WordPress uses to indicate that this is a heading is actually code that screen readers and web search engine crawlers and all sorts of stuff on the internet uses to determine what is the content on your website, what type of information is on this particular page. And if you have used your subheadings correctly, okay, then for example, a screen reader or a robot like a or search engine robot will be able to just look at the headings on your page and understand, okay, or be able to correctly categorize your page so that your page shows up properly in search engine results and things like that. There's other reasons too, but really it is important to use those headings and subheadings properly to properly organize your content. It really helps with the accessibility of your website. So keep that in mind, and I'll probably be talking a little bit more about this as these screencasts progress. Okay, so we know how to add bulleted lists, we know how to add numbered lists, we know how to make block quotes, and we know how to add subheadings to our content. So I think that's enough for now. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.